Hi guys, it is Carla the Bubble Lush, and this is my pregnancy week 31 and 32 update. Not much happened in week 31, so I'm just going to combine the two instead of making a separate video and saying, nothing happened. So, I am sitting in my glider. I'm sorry that I'm like rocking, but I'll explain later. So, development so far in week 31 and 32, baby is between, I don't know, 3.5, 4.5 pounds. Considering that at the growth scan she was 55th percentile, and they say on average babies right now weigh about 3 3/4 pounds, she probably weighs somewhere between 3.75 and 4 pounds. So that's really good size. I had someone ask me how I was doing on weight gain, and right now I'm about 6 pounds above my pre-pregnancy, so I think that's great. I'm not really stressed about it at all, and yeah, I feel like I look fine, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, symptoms. The only really symptom I had in week 31 was just I was really tired. I got a good amount of sleep each night, but while I was driving to work, once I got to work, I was just exhausted. I was taking naps, both at lunch and, you know, we get like a 15-20 minute break in the morning and the afternoon. I was taking little cat naps during those as well, so it was really rough. And my husband couldn't understand because he was like, you're sleeping like 7.5, 8 hours at night. And I'm like, I know, I'm just exhausted. I'm just exhausted. So that week was not very good. Very low energy. So week 32, I was actually feeling really good. Once I turned 31 weeks, not a big deal. Everything was great. I noticed, probably on like Saturday, July 5th, 3rd, that, and I said it to my husband, and I felt so weird saying it, but I was like, my badge hurts. Like, I know that is like the least ladylike thing I could ever say, but like it is so weird. And he goes, what does it feel like? And I go, it feels like after you have like really, really rough sex or something. And he was like, well, that didn't happen. I'm like, yeah, I know. But it hurt. It felt like I was bruised, right? Okay? But it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of like, that's weird. Came out of nowhere. Didn't really have any explanation for it, but it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't hampering my movement at all. Oh goodness, she is like kicking up a storm. Wowzers. Anyway, so yesterday, Wednesday, 31 weeks and 6 days. I had been experiencing this pain off and on, but Wednesday was, wow, it was amazing how painful it was. I think I kind of noticed it in the morning, but I thought I was just stiff. Sometimes when I wake up, I'm just kind of stiff in my hips and stuff, and I thought maybe that's why it hurt when I was like trying to put my pants on, you know, one leg at a time. And by the time I got to work and sat down, the pain was like a whole new ballpark. And it hurt whenever I walked, and frankly, it hurt when I was just sitting still. Sorry. I think I'm kind of getting a Braxton Hicks contraction. Wow. Anyway, so my husband, I called my husband, and he was like, well, explain the pain now. And I was like, and this is like way too TMI, but it feels like somebody is shoving an ice pick, right? Okay, so it's right in your pubic bone, but some people don't know where your pubic bone is. So imagine, like, I don't know if you guys know where your mons is, but it's like right at the cleft of your labia, where that kind of like fatty tissue is. If somebody shoved an ice pick just right up there, I would say a knife, but I don't want to envision any knives down there. No cutting instruments, so an ice pick. It is just a searing, blinding pain when you walk. And I did some Googling to try to diagnose myself to see if I was like, should be really concerned or if this was like common. It's fairly common, but I do think it's something to be kind of concerned about. I think what I have is pubic symphasis pain. Basically, imagine your pelvis is like a circle, right? It's got you got your hip bones and your pelvis wraps around, and the hole that it creates is where your baby's going to go through, right? But this isn't a solid circle. It's two halves. And there's a joint in the front and a joint in the back. And the joint in the front is your symphysis. And basically it's like ligaments holding these two bones together. It's a joint. And from what I've read, it looks like the relaxin. Remember that from like week 13 and stuff? The relaxin is allowing your pelvis to widen, right? But mine is like not happy about this widening, and it really hurts. So they say that there are, it can be treated with chiropractic care using what's called the Webster technique. You can also go through physical therapy, wear support girdles, all that kind of stuff. So I emailed my chiropractor, who's also my acupuncturist. She helped me get pregnant, and asked her if she was familiar at all with the Webster technique, so I'm waiting to hear back from her. And, you know, it's Thursday now. I have a midwife appointment on Monday, so I'm going to talk with her about it. So anyways, that is what's going on right now. Apparently it affects about, 40 to 50% of women in pregnancy to varying degrees. Some women it's so bad they have to go on bed rest and have a cesarean section. Some women it just hurts when they walk. Today it was much better, but it still is really bruised. It really does hurt just when I'm sitting there. So it's something that I kind of want to stay on top of, hopefully working with a chiropractor to kind of realign my pelvis and help ease some of that pain, because I can definitely see it hurting a lot worse. And that would just be, I wouldn't be able to continue working. There's just no way. I'm like going crazy with it now. So anyway, enough about that. Whew. All right, I've been meaning to mention this like for the past weeks and weeks and weeks, but occasionally at night I've been getting the leg cramps, which is like the Charlie horse in your calf, where it tightens up while you're sleeping. Just a reminder that if you get that, you want to don't point your toe, but flex your foot, so that's creating like a 90-degree angle with your foot and your leg. And that'll help relieve it. Sorry I'm saying a lot. I'm really distracted by what's going on in my tummy. She is kicking, and there's some tightening. Speaking of Braxton Hicks Contractions, on July 3rd in the evening, I was laying on the love seat, and watching TV, and I noticed that my stomach was like really starting to hurt. And sometimes when I have like an upset stomach, it just kind of cramps, right? Comparable to like menstrual cramps. So it had been cramping for a while, but I was watching a TV show and it was, whatever. And then I was like, maybe these are Braxton Hicks. Let me time the next couple. So I noted what time one of them started, and then I noted what time the next one started, and they were 3 minutes apart. And I was like, well, if they're really, Braxton Hicks, and they're really 3 minutes apart, then the next one will start at 8:19. So 8:19, another one started. And then 8:22, and then 8:26, that one was 4 minutes, and then 8:29. And it just kind of kept going on, and I was laying there, my parents were in the same room, my husband had already gone to sleep, and I was kind of starting to like freak out a little bit, being like, 3 minutes apart, these need to chill out. So, I got up and I let the dogs outside and kind of paced around for a little bit, and they went away. So I know that it was just like, false alarm, Braxton Hicks, but that was really an experience, I guess. I don't know, it was just kind of weird to have them be at such regular intervals. I'm probably going to have to do a two-parter, I'm sorry. But, there wasn't a video last week, so that makes sense.